If you're still chasing the local market and trying to sign clients for your agency, you're probably making a huge mistake. At least I was about a year and a half ago when I had to burn down my entire agency because all of my local business clients churned. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to fix that, how to expand up market, and how to start getting paid $5,000 and even $10,000 a month retainers. That way you're not just another agency that provides local lead gen services, and you're actually an agency that is viewed as valuable. Let's hop straight into the video here. So the issue with local businesses, at least the one that I had, and I'm speaking to hundreds of people every single month who run an agency, is that local businesses have small budgets, okay? And when cash flow for their business goes low on 1 month, guess what's reflected? Your agency, and you are cut off in services. So you might not even be able to keep them for 6 or 12 months. Now, all my clients churned last year, May of 2024, because I was servicing, I think a handful, was 5 or 10 local lead gen businesses or local businesses. And I was providing lead gen services, obviously, because I have an agency. And so what I figured out was working at Barnes & Noble at this time, trying to buy a bunch of these books, is I realized that what happened here is that I was providing a good service, but cash flow dipped for these local businesses. They had to bail out on marketing. They had to pick the service that was not really going to keep their business alive, just going to really improve and help out with leads and stuff, and they had to cut it off. So all my clients churned, and it wasn't until I expanded up market, switched my positioning, how I positioned myself, I went from $7.3K to $21,000 a month last summer in under 90 days, okay? And now I'm showing agency owners how to do the exact same. I have an exact playbook of how I did it without sending cold emails or making a bunch of cold calls or running ads for any, lead gen agency owner, okay? Playbook's down below, put in your email, that's literally it, okay? Very simple, any description or any link in any one of my videos. So they have small budgets. They don't really value long-term marketing. They see you more as just an agency that's gonna come and go in a few months. They don't really care. They expect miracles for cheap. They churn fast, they're slow payers. Local businesses is a nightmare. Local, marketing for local businesses was a nightmare for me, and is a nightmare for, I kid you not, most of the people who I actually talk to. So what you have to do is you have to revamp your offer. You have to expand up market. You have to pre-close your sales process, and you basically have to build a closing sales process. It's very simple. And then build your fulfillment, so your back end to scale, okay? So I just went over exactly what you need to do, and I'm gonna show you exactly pretty much how you need to do it, okay? So like I said, obviously I have a free school community. After you guys fill out this email, you guys get access to it. You guys can look at the more in-depth steps in there. But as far as this video, I'm gonna give you guys sort of the breakdown of these first 3, just because that's all we really have time for, okay? So offer revamp is simple. What you want to do is you want to position your offer for an upmarket segment, okay? And so instead of trying to cold call leads, or if you're running ads, you can still continue to run ads, but your cost per lead is going to be a lot higher because you're targeting a upper market segment, all right? So most people that want to run paid ads in the beginning of targeting upmarket clients and upmarket prospects actually make the mistake of spending way too much. Or not really a mistake. They're not framed with spending a lot of money because they think that they could just run the same amount of paid ads they did for a local business and get the same results for an upmarket segment. But in reality, if you want to position your offer differently and get paid $5K to $10K a month retainers for your agency, what's going to happen is you're going to have to pay more in ad spend to basically tell Meta to qualify harder so you can get through that upmarket segment and to the right decision makers. Because selling to a business that's making $5 million or $10 million a year is a little bit more hard to reach than a business that is local. You can just call them on the phone, right? So we don't do paid ads. I mean, we do paid ads, but we don't start off running paid ads. We start off targeting LinkedIn Sales Nav. Every single company that's producing over $1 million, $5 million, $20 million, $200 million a year is on LinkedIn Sales Navigator, and just LinkedIn in general. LinkedIn Sales Navigator is the messaging platform that we use, okay? So your offer revamp, you want to position yourself as a growth infrastructure, basically, is kind of the right word for it, but really just a system that is sold as a whole, okay? And so with that being said, you're doing either outreach or paid ads for them because they're lead gen. And so you're packaging it as an end-to-end solution. So it's paid ads plus booked appointments, plus maybe something on the back end, or like a sales process or something. Most of these teams and most of these companies already have it kind of dialed in. But what I figured out is, and what I did is I revamped my offer obviously, if you guys join in here on the school after filling out that first link down below, the playbook here, I go over exactly what you have to do. But in my inner circle, for my inner circle clients, I have an offer revamp module where I show you pretty much how to revamp your entire offer, So what you want to do is you want to position yourself as a system that's sold as a whole. So we've seen great people in this industry do it, like Alex Hormozi and Gym Launch, where they actually packaged up their solution as a entire system. So Alex Hormozi taught gyms how to go from a level 1 gym to a level 10 gym, okay? And basically said, we're going to add $50,000 to your, top line revenue in the next 6 months, or you're not going to pay, or something like that. And he fixed the sourcing qualified leads problem. He fixed the, outreach into qualified leads problem. So he did this for businesses. He got the business leads. He got businesses on the phone with these qualified leads. He got the gyms to nurture them automatically. He had all that too. And then he actually was able to help with client fulfillment as well, and reduce client churn for these companies or these gyms in this example, and increase the gym's client experience with different stuff within the gym and things like that. So because Alex Hormozi was able to package his entire business not as a lead gen agency but as an infrastructure, he got to the money a little bit earlier, sold his company for $46.2 million, I believe in 2021. So those of you guys that don't know Alex Hormozi, I think everybody does in this space. Notice how I am sort of building my agency like him. I'm building my agency as a sellable asset because one day I do want to sell to private equity or something like that, okay? And so when you start thinking like somebody who, could possibly sell their business in the future, you start to build a business that people are going to want to pay big money for, okay? So this is also what I'll obviously help agency owners with. Is I have a program, things like that, but I do this for myself. I have a B2B lead gen agency that helps out software companies, and so I'm targeting a market segment. I do lead gen for software companies that are doing over $1 million in ARR. That just means annual recurring revenue. That's a software term if you guys didn't know that. And I've been doing this for about a year and a half, 2 years, something like that. I haven't always targeted the software segment, but I've been doing lead gen I've been in the marketing space for over 4 years, but I wouldn't say I've been seriously doing it for about a year and a half, 2 years, okay? So because I expanded my niche to an offer that is sellable to an upmarket segment, like a software company that's doing over $1 million a year, I'm able to sell this system as a whole. I'm able to get paid anywhere from 4.5K to, even up to 15K in setup fees, and then charge damn near the same amount for a monthly retainer. So I hope you guys are sort of shifting your mindset here from local businesses to now actually expanding upmarket. Some questions you might still have is, okay, this sounds great, Patrick. I want higher retainers. I know I have to revamp my offer, and I know local businesses are really a pain in the ass. I've been doing this for a while. But Patrick, how do I target these companies? How do I get in front of them? How do I book calls with them? Why me? Am I ready for this? Okay, first thing, yes, you are ready for this. If you've sold to one client before and you have good results, honestly, you need to take the leap because let's be real, you can fulfill for these market customers. You just don't know you can because you never actually gave it a shot, okay? So instead of being scared, having anxiety over it, trust yourself, trust in your service, and trust that you can actually sell to these larger companies and produce great results for them. Now, that second question that I asked myself was, how do you get in front of them, right? So like I said, we're using LinkedIn Sales Navigator as the database. Every single company that's registered in the US and even outside the US is on LinkedIn Sales Navigator. I'm talking established companies that are anywhere from $1 million a year, 5 million, 10 million, 25 million, 250, you name it, they're probably on here. And we're using this as a database. So what we'll do is we'll have different filtering mechanisms here on LinkedIn. Show you guys kind of just a broad overview. I'm not going to show you exactly how I do it, but I'll just kind of show you kind of how it looks. You go to lead filters and you have the ability to sort out different company headcounts, functions, job titles, seniority levels, industry, geography, things like that. So I have a very specific way to actually, fill out these keywords. Obviously, it's gonna be the first thing right down below. The playbook goes over everything and target them. I'll export them using another software called Find Email if you're familiar with it. And I'll just export these leads into Google Sheets. It's as simple as that. So we're just on here, export leads, slap them on a Google Sheet. And there's a very specific way, of course, about how I outreach to these people on LinkedIn Sales Navigator, which I'm not going to get into on this video. If you want that, I have other videos there as well. And it's obviously in the playbook too. So This channel has over 275 videos just talking about client acquisition, marketing, sales, and everything like that. I just have a bunch of undeniable proof of me doing this shit on a daily basis and showing up every single day for, I think, almost 2 years on YouTube at this point. So it's been a journey for sure. So again, I appreciate all you guys that watch me and shit like that. So that's that on LinkedIn. And yeah, that's pretty much exactly how you are going to get out of the hamster wheel. Now, like I said, a lot of guys are kind of confused on how this works. Now, again, revamping your offer is not the easiest thing in the world. If you mess it up, you're going to get positioned wrong in the marketplace, and then you're going to be still blending in with all these other agencies. And so if you get this step wrong, then most likely when you even do target these companies, if you do go up market, you're not going to stand out. Then you can't build fulfillment for scale without signing any upmarket customers. And so what happens is if you don't get this first thing right, it's a domino effect. Just like pretty much anything in business, you don't have the proper foundations, you cannot scale. Simple scales, fancy fails, and having a fundamental business that produces good results for companies is key to scaling and helping out any business, no matter what stage they're at, all right? That's why I'm pressing really hard on this first thing, offer revamp. And that's why I'm pushing you guys to actually fill out the playbook, because it's extremely important that you figure out that first step first. Now, obviously here we've helped tons of people do this. I'll just show you guys kind of some of the wins in the Slack channel right now. Showing you guys this. Robbie closed $8,000, I think it was a few days ago. 2 split pays. You know, Juliana's onboarding a bunch of clients with LinkedIn Sales Navigator. She's in the real estate niche. She does lead gen for real estate. Robbie does lead gen for, I think, auto companies or something like that. And then Zakia joined up as well. So there's a lot of stuff going on the wins channel here. I just kind of want to show you guys that way. You guys can see sort of what the program is a little bit. But with that being said, you guys, local businesses only have small budgets. If you're working with local businesses right now as an agency, I'm not going to tell you to stop, because obviously I don't control you. You're your own business owner. But I will say that I did that for months, and eventually it burned me out. A lot of my clients churn, not necessarily because my service was bad. It was just because cash flow dipped in the company, and cash flow just didn't make it for some of the businesses. And 1 month didn't make it, and then they just had to cut the retainers. Even if you're charging a 2K month retainer, those businesses can't really hang on for that long if money starts to become sort of an issue and they're not hitting the revenue markers. So that's just to go to show that business is business and things get cut. So don't be expecting miracles for cheap if you're in the local business market. And these guys definitely, these local business owners do not have the proper frame as well. They think, you know, this marketing agency can come in here, you know, spend, you know, $50 a day on ad spend and create miracles. Okay. That's kind of how they think. And it's a little bit out of touch. So that's why I always want to provide value and educate you guys here on YouTube about how to expand up market, because I don't want any agency owner thinking they can scale really high and end up hating what they do because of low margins, small budgets, and, you know, fast churn clients. Obviously that's a huge issue. So with that being said, you guys, hope this video helped. Hope this video pointed out some blind spots. Fill out that playbook down below. It's the first link in any one of my videos and any of the comment sections. And it shows you exactly the step-by-step playbook that I use and the more in-depth process of how I actually use LinkedIn Sales Navigator to not send hundreds of cold emails, but to actually send targeted, personalized messages to these upper market companies and these upmarket businesses. And so I was able to actually sign these retainers because of that. Okay. So free playbook's gonna be the first link right down below. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.